Hello, this is Bob Grimstead and I'd like to welcome you aboard my Thornia RF4 for my RBAR display to entertain the crowds at the Red Bull Air Race Perth on the 18th of April 2010. I'm just flying into the box, turning into wind, as you can see the outside world a little bit on the left through the top of the canopy there, lining up with the display line from west to east, arming my smokes, firing my smokes with 5 seconds to go before my display starts, diving for my first manoeuvre, which is a loop. I pull up into a nice big loop, floating across the top as slowly as I dare without the engine stopping and coming back down the other side. Diving now to increase airspeed to 125 knots to pull up hard, 4G pull into a quarter vertical roll. At the top of this should be a stall turn, but unfortunately race director Drew Searle spoke to me and I actually replied to him. You'll see me pressing the button on the top of the stick. That put me off a little bit, so what should have been a 3/4 right click roll became a quarter left vertical downward roll and a dive to the NE to get the propeller started again because the engine stopped. I'm now pulling up into a quarter vertical roll for a Humpty bump over the top on my wings level. Yes, they're not bad. There's the smoke outside as I roll back down again, changing direction to pull up now into the first of 4 stall turns in this routine, kicking up 41 knots there, holding off the bank a little bit and pushing for an inverted recovery. No inverted systems on this airplane, so the engine stops although the propeller keeps rotating as I push. Roll erect, climb to a 30-degree climb, and then when the speed gets back to 50 knots, kick and pull for a half flick down to the vertical and then pulling through to get lots of airspeed for my 4-point roll. I am rather high here, so I'm deliberately flying faster than normal, about 110 knots on this 4-point roll to burn off some height. And I'll do the same thing on the next manoeuvre, which is a slow roll. That's the 4 points of the 4-point roll. Pulling up now to another stall turn, 41 knots. I kick with my right foot, there, hold off bank with left stick, there. The nose yaws down through the horizon and let the speed build up again to 110, 120 knots for a slow roll. This time to the left. Thornia rolls more slowly to the left, but I don't have a very strong tailwind today, so it works quite well. Pull up now into the half Cuban, easing it over the top, letting the airspeed drop right back to about 45 knots, holding on the 45 downline and quickly rolling before the airspeed increases too much. You can see it getting back up to 120 already. Pulling up into the avalanche, and that's 60 knots as I go over the top, kick and pull. That's the full flick roll at the top of the loop. There's the recovery for the avalanche, pulling back up level. You can see the air race gate below me, which acts as my display line. Pulling up here for half reverse Cuban, and again easing over the top and round and down. There are those air race gates directly beneath me again as I come up for the last stall turn. There, kicking to the right, holding off the left bank, or holding off bank with left aileron, and now into a 90-degree left turn to get me going into wind, because the next manoeuvre, which is a full 4-leaf clover, will blow down wind with the wind, so I need to start off upwind. And this is the first of the 4 quarter clovers that form the 4-leaf clover, easing it and teasing it over the top to make it a circular manoeuvre so that I can come back through, dive down and pull up straight up the column of smoke that forms the central stalk of the clover leaf. This is the second leaf now, same thing. You can see the airspeed drops right back to 0 as I ease it over the top to get myself away from the central column. Pulling up, there's the smoke, pulling back up through the central smoke column. The third leaf now, 1,000 feet at the top you'll see, and just above 500 feet at the bottom. That's the shape of the clover leaf. There are 600 and a little bit feet at the bottom for the 4th leaf now of the clover. And as I pull out from this one, I want to pull a little bit harder, so you'll see a little bit more G. The airspeed won't increase so much. I want about 85 to 90 knots, which I have, for my rolling circle to the left. So you can see the city of Perth rolling outside the airplane as I go round the rolling circle to the left. Lots of left aileron, lots of rudder, ruddering the nose around the sky, pushing the nose above the horizon and around the sky for the second roll of my rolling circle. And if that works out right, yes, there ahead is the line of boats which I must not cross, Min Street Jetty, which marks the western end of my display line, and I'm now diving down below 500 feet to 50 feet to fly faster south away by them. 50 feet is the height of the air gates, so you can see the air gates there. I'm level with them. and you can see the reflection of my hand as I'm waving to the crowd at the end of my display. The aerobatics took 4 minutes, the waving run takes a further minute, and then I'll leave the display area. Once I get to the eastern end of the crowd line, I'll make a left turn. I will see lots of faces and lots of people standing on balconies at the hotels and at apartment buildings and even in office blocks in the city centre, so I'll take the time to wave to them as well as I track westwards along the northern shoreline of Perth water, leaving the display area out over the narrow streets to the left. There I am turning north and climbing up. You see that I've applied full power again, climbing through 200 feet here, but turning to the left into sun, unfortunately, so there's a lot of reflection on the lens. And then further to the left, there's the city buildings appearing just on the bottom left corner of the canopy there. That's my air show completed. I hope you enjoyed it.